welcome to this week's video. These are the videos where I keep a record of my week as a professional musician working in the UK. Coming up in this week's video, some Hendrix on acoustic guitar, a clip from my new song, and my daughter's singing. So today, finally, my album comes out. This is my second album. I've been about 2 years making this as it was delayed through COVID, and I've been mentioning this the last few weeks, and here's my little prop collection here. There's Maverick magazine, the latest issue, and I'm in there as the one to watch. And this is the album. It's on CD. I'm going to put some links in the description for this video. You can buy a CD, or you can go and have a listen wherever you listen to your music digitally. So yeah, I'd appreciate it if you go and have a look. And first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a little clip from the title track. Here's a video that I filmed a while back, but this has got the latest audio, all nicely mixed and mastered with all the live band on it. So check this out. This is called Halfway to Somewhere, as is the album.
On the black top, father's dreams turn to dust in my hand. Don't wanna lose them all, no county maintain, cause any rock can be ground into sand. Sooty smoke drifts through my window, so I'm burning a hole in the sky. It's getting hot in here already, it's burning up like a Texas sunrise. The AC's broken, the window's jammed. I could make you a little space here if you lend me a hand. I don't know where I'm going, can't remember all the places I've been. I'm on this road halfway to somewhere, wanna ride it with me.
So there we are, that's the title track of the album. I've had some very nice reviews of the album. Lots of them have been pointing out how much they like the songwriting, but the guitar playing hasn't gone unnoticed, as well as the musicianship of the other guys in the band. So that's very encouraging, and I'm very pleased so far. I also have a live gig to announce. I'm going to be supporting Sam Lewis, who's a Nashville-based Americana country artist who's coming over and touring the UK in November, and I'm going to be supporting him at the Lewis Con Club. That's Lewis in East Sussex near Brighton. And that's on the 18th of November. So I'll put a link in the description to where you can get tickets for that as well. But it'd be nice if I see someone who watches my YouTube channel at the gig. But I'm going to be doing a half-hour solo acoustic set before he plays. So I'm very much looking forward to hearing him play. I've been checking him out on Spotify and it's good stuff. Right, so on to this week's gigs. Now, this first gig, this was a solo acoustic gig. I got it last minute as a friend of mine, a singer I've known for a long time. His girlfriend's about to have a baby. And he was in 2 minds about whether he was going to do the gig, and he asked me if I would be on kind of standby. And then I told him the story about when my wife had our third daughter. When we had our third daughter, we were kind of a bit more blasé than we had been with the previous two, and I went and took a gig when she really started going into labour already. But we thought, oh, it'll be a while, so I went off and did the gig. My mum came round to the house and she phoned me after the first set and said, I really think you ought to come home. So I went over to the lady running the gig and said, I don't wish to alarm you or anything, but my wife's about to have a baby. At which point she panicked and well, we didn't finish the gig. We went and we did the second set a little bit earlier and finished early. And it was one of those journeys home. Everything seemed to take ages, getting the lift down to put the stuff in the car. Every traffic light was red on the way back. And when I got home, we didn't have time to stop and have a drink or anything. I literally walked in, we grabbed the bags, walked out to the car, drove the 5 miles to the hospital. As we walked in, the nurse in the maternity suite took one look at my wife and said, don't bother going into the triage bit, or the bit where they assess you, go straight into the delivery room. And then we had our third daughter within about 3 minutes of arriving, and the midwife said it was the first time that she'd never actually had a chance to write any notes before the baby was born. So after I told him that story, for some reason he then messaged me about an hour later and said, actually, could you do the gig? So I didn't mean to scare him out of his own gig, but it appears that might have happened. I heard from the venue and they asked me to send a photo and a few words about myself so they could post it on social media. So I did my normal thing about the younger, more famous, hatted, bearded Tom Walker stealing my name, etc, etc, only to find out that he'd played there a few months earlier. Now, I was a bit worried when I noticed that, because I'd already sent off my rather pathetic joke before I noticed he'd played there, and I was worried that the people there might actually know him. But anyway, it wasn't a problem. When I got there, I was gutted that I'd missed him, actually, because it's only down the road from where I'd live. I would have liked to go on to watch him, and they said he was absolutely brilliant and a very nice chap, so that's very good to hear, even if he did nick my name. But apparently the other thing he did mention, it was in the summer, and he was cursing the woolly hat, which has now become his trademark, because he said it's absolutely boiling to play while he's wearing it in the summer. But there we go, you've got to suffer for your art sometimes, haven't you? Anyway, here's a clip of me playing. I'm using my Quad Cortex for looping and delay, etc, etc, like I normally do on acoustic. I just use the standalone unit. I don't use any external loopers anymore. If you want to check out how I set this up, there's a video, if you search on my channel, called Hybrid Mode. It's how I set it up, just as a complete standalone unit. It does everything I need on acoustic. And on this, I'm doing a bit of Jimi Hendrix, so check this out. Next gig, I've got a prop here. This is the guitar I'm playing on it. Now, I've been fiddling around with this guitar. It's got the humbucker in this position, which I'm not particularly used to. I'm more used to the standard 3 single coils, and I was really struggling with it. As soon as I flicked it onto the humbucker, it seemed to get tons more bass, it seemed to lose treble, and it just totally different sound. So what I've done, I've lowered the pickup right down. I don't know if you can see it here, but I've put it really low down. Might be easier that way to see, and it seems to balance quite nicely. While I'm there, I can also show you my these are little bits of stickers, like envelope label stickers. I kept playing on this guitar, missing where I was going, being a semitone out, and I realised it was because I couldn't see the fret markers. It was probably before I conceded that I had to wear glasses all the time, as my close-up vision is going with age. So I stuck these little stickers on, which is it's a bit of a fudge, really. I mean, Danny Gatton got those nice cubic zirconiums on his. Perhaps I should have to do that at some point, but I think it's to do with the tiny little mother of pearls in the rosewood. Anyway, there we are. So, on to the gig. So this gig is the one that I showed the rehearsal for last week. Now, I didn't turn the camera on at the start because we were doing some kind of backgroundy stuff, and unfortunately I only caught half of what I'm about to show you, which was the bass solo by Andy, who is a fantastic bass player, and he played on my first EP that I did about 10 years ago. And I haven't seen him for absolutely ages, and I used to absolutely love it when he did this bass solo when I used to work with him regularly. So I managed to record a bit of it, so you can't see him but you can hear him. So check this out. This is a very cool bass solo on Boogie Oogie Oogie. Now this next clip is a solo, so you can hear what it sounds like. I'm probably on this pickup for some of it. Can't remember without looking, but check it out. It's through my standard pedal board into my Milkman amp. So that's this. And actually another thing with this, it's one of the hollow ones. It's really, really light, this. Very nice guitar. Anyway, see what you think of this. And then finally, just a little bit so you can hear the clean sound. The rehearsal we had for this gig was to actually play with the singer who is singing this song. Now, I've mentioned before, I don't tend to put the vocal parts of the songs on these videos because you tend to get copyright claims. And in fact, on last week's video, I did get a copyright claim despite leaving off all the vocals. It was for the All Right Now solo. So in some ways, it's a bit of a compliment because it must mean that I played the solo so accurately that YouTube's algorithm picked it up and flagged it as a copyright claim. Anyway, didn't matter. I left it on there. So this is Kareem Bailey Ray's version of the Bob Marley song Is This Love, and it's just a demonstration of the clean sound I got with this guitar through my Milkman amp. Now next up, this wasn't a gig as such, I've shown this before, this is a kids group that my wife does, and my kids come along as well and sing, so I thoroughly enjoy that. I don't really enjoy playing along with backing tracks, but I am using my Quad Cortex on this straight into the PA, and it actually sounds really good. I do like the sound of that. It's nice having these big 15-inch drivers right behind my ear with the Quad Cortex going through it. It is a nice sound. It's very different to using it with in-ear monitors. So I'll show you a few clips here. There's my middle daughter filming. She likes filming with my GoPro, and she was filming her younger sister sound checking the microphones. They absolutely love filming and being on camera. It's second nature to them, so I'll just show you a bit of that first.
Keep on going.
Do it again.
No, keep on going. Okay, bum.
Yeah.
Testing for gigs for kids. Testing mics. Test that one. No, we can't test that. Haven't turned it off.
And then my middle daughter and my eldest daughter both singing. Ellie is really coming on as a singer. That's my eldest daughter, and so I'm going to show you this because I'm a proud dad.
Trying to bring out the fabulous. Talk about way too much. I'ma need like 2 shots in my cup. Wanna get up, wanna get down. That's how I feel right now.
So I'm going to leave you with this. This is the last gig I'm going to show you. This is with the band Mixed Feelings. I've shown you myself playing with them several times. And we had quite a few stand-in dep players on this gig. And this particular track, it's a Stevie Wonder song, and it really started cooking. So I enjoyed this. And Clint, the bass player, you can see in this video, his playing is absolutely fantastic on this. So I wanted to show you it. Now there is a solo on here, and it's not the greatest tone, I have to say. I was playing through the Hot Rod Deluxe, I think it is, with my Quad Cortex, and I was using the Vemeral Ray block, the one that came in the last update, which is a nice sounding overdrive, but I didn't clearly have it set up very well, and it's not a particularly good tone, but the rest of it's really good. This is one of the things I don't particularly like about the Quad Cortex. If that had been on one of my standalone pedals, I would have just fiddled with the gain and the tone and got it exactly how I wanted it very easily, but I can't very well start editing the screen mid-solo. It's a bit tricky. I'm going to leave you with this solo. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm bringing out new videos every week. I upload them at 7 PM UK time, so please hit subscribe, come and check me out next week, and I'll hopefully see you then.